over the weekend, I'm picking up food for the kids and Sue's, picking up dinner, picking up some takeout to bring home. I get in the car, and some dude pulls up to me in a truck and rolls his window down and says something. So I have two choices to just, who the hell knows? It's 21st century. Do I address this man back or do I not? I make the decision. I'll just roll the window down. I'm like, yeah. And he says he's a fan. Okay. So I knew which way this was going right away.
All right.
That he's been a fan for a very long time. And he says, and I love you and the guys. Now, I will fully admit what that frequently means, if not many times that means he's talking about Kurt, Irv, Mooch.
Game day morning.
Correct. He then says Brockman, TJ, and Del Tufo. Hold on a second.
What's up?
That's immediately who I thought.
What's up?
Hold on.
That is not who I thought he was going to say.
Hold on.
I was
Hold on.
Yeah.
I say thank you. He follows up with Del Tufo should have his own show.
Sign me up.
What kind of show?
Where was this?
This was on the mean streets of Robertson, just north of, just north of, I guess, San Vicente or
Amazing.
Burton.
That's funny because my buddy Matt lives down there, so I'm wondering if that was him.
I don't think so. He looked like, Mike, I got to tell you, he looked like a guy we grew up with on the East Coast. And I just didn't know how to respond to that last part.
Wow.
Because I don't even know what a Mike Del Tufo show would look. Well, we do know what it would look like. We see the Friday night music show, but you can't just spin records as part of a show. Like Peacock would. I don't think Peacock would buy. I mean, all of our partners are excited to have us, I believe.
I could interview musicians 100%. That would be my show.
That would be your show.
If I had a show, I would love to do that.
But would you be able to get in and out of breaks? It's very difficult for you to tell me to focus on telling me the simple fact of when I need to get in and out of breaks.
He'd have a producer, Rich. That's what the IFB's for that you wear in your ear, Rich. The producer would do that with me.
Oh, you would be produced.
Of course. I'm a producible guy. I consider myself a producible guy.
He is. Wow. I mean, it's funny that Don Bowie has yet to chime into my ear once, and he's the one who. I know he has. He's the one who gives you the weather report that you can't stick to the script. He still hasn't chimed in, Don.
Don's sitting back there.
No, he's directing. Right
Don's got a lot going on.
Don's got a lot going on.
Yeah, I got to be honest. That was my first thought when he said that. I didn't think about those other guys. I thought about us.
I think about us. As much as I love you guys, when somebody's like, "I love you," and the guys, they're talking about Pro Football Hall of Famers that they see me on every Sunday. But we're, as you know, out of playing season right now. But apparently there is a need, at least one human being on the planet that's not part of your family that says you should have your own show.
By the way, not the first person that said that has actually said that. Wendy Raquel Robinson, when I worked on Steve Harvey's show.
Okay.
Probably like a year into the show, came right up to me, and TJ and I, we've talked about this, and said, "You're a character. Yes. You could have your own sitcom."
Well, what do you think?
And she wanted to.
You're a character, like
I'm a character.
When I first walked into this studio in October of 2014, when we were starting to do rehearsals, I did not know that Chris Long had hired you.
I know. I was hired like way back.
Okay. I did not know that he had hired you. And I saw you. I'm like, you're the one who's sitting at the board. And immediately in my head, I'm like, okay, you now. I knew you were a character the minute I met you, Mike. So, I understand the concept of you having your own show, but if you don't mind me producing you on the spot,
you can do that.
I know you want to talk to musicians. That's great. We've heard people talk to musicians. You've got a special knack, Mike, for dropping serious names like you just did when you used to work on the Steve Harvey show. And then we watched you meet Steve Harvey for the first time since then, and him kind of remember you, and then you defending yourself by swearing he definitely remembered you, and then part of the show could you be name dropping, I real time call you out on it, and Chris Brockman does what he's doing right now, which is make eye contact with nobody, wanting to get away, like in that airplane commercial right now, because he knows Steve Harvey did not remember him, correct? You were there.
You guys are.
You were there, Chris.
Trolling.
Break the tie. I know you don't like being in this position. As much of a masshole as you are. Do it.
Do it.
Do
you
it.
Can agree with Rich.
Do it.
Go.
I think he sort of. I think he knew
Scale
that.
of 1 to 10. 10 being totally remembered, 1 meaning not at all.
Like 3.
3.
Oh, that's
on the
that's
low
awful.
end of the scale
But he
of kind
was
of
like,
remembering.
oh yeah. I think when you refreshed his memory, he was like, oh yeah, you
There
were
would
there.
be a segment on your show where you are surprised by the celebrity calling in and somebody says, do you remember Mike Del Tufo? That's the segment.
I mean,
It's a good segment.
I've had 3 lives in my life.
Okay.
I've had my New Jersey life.
Yes.
My earlier California life, which I say up until, and then I have my like NFL Network and this life. You guys don't know the pre. It's like TJ. I mean, TJ's life is insane. Like when we sit and talk, it's like Brockman brings up stuff. We all have like little things that we don't know
We
about.
literally have to pull it out of TJ. You, all we got to do is just set our clocks to it.
Because I remember, my memory is impeccable. Like it's like the Liza Minnelli story. It's like those things.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just piloted the Mike Del Tufo show.
I'm watching that show every week.
A lot of times I do think Mike is
There it is.
His Mike is full of crap. And then, like, when he said, oh, yeah, I toured the White House and stole some Reagan
stole some
cigarettes.
Reagan cigarettes.
And we're
Which
like,
is a true story.
stop it. Why are you lying? This is a ridiculous story. And then you brought in the cigarettes, and I was like, all right.
It's like,
Because that's so ridiculous. How could you make that up?
Five-finger discounted Ronald
I
Reagan
actually
cigarettes?
asked the Secret Service agent that was giving us the tour, can I steal one of these packs of cigarettes? And he was like, yeah.
The only thing that's close for me
Reagan
is
had 'em.
1 year I went to, me and America's guest, Reed Bergman, went to the Playboy Mansion for New Year's Eve. And when Susie was covering the
Happened to be out of
the
town?
Sugar Bowl. No, she wasn't. She fully knew what I was doing.
No, I haven't.
When she was eventually getting set to cover that game and do a post-game on-field interview with one of the current senators from the state of Alabama, who we saw in The Blind Side, by the way, over the weekend. But not to digress. So I'm there, and I stole some stationery off of one of Hugh Hefner's desks. I have from the desk of Hugh M. Hefner.
And I will say, you've told that story before, maybe probably back in the day.
And I probably sent you a note on them, right?
And then the one time I went to the Playboy Mansion, I did the exact same thing that you did.
Now, Rich, I got you guys both beat. I stole a pillow, actually 2 pillows, with my friend Leah from the Playmate of the Years area at one of the Playboy parties.
By the way, the other segment is called
area is that?
One-upping.
It's like
that's another Mike Del Tufo thing.
One-upping.
One-upping. Forget about your interviews with the musicians. Nobody cares.
Thanks, Rich.
This is the show, Mike.
One-upping.
That's it. You're right, because you have callers call in and share a story, and then Mike Del Tufo's them.
I could do better.
And then
I could do better. Somebody calls in about that one time they had this one celebrity sighting, and Mike's like, oh, that one time I once dropped off Liza at Bayo's house for a booty call. By the way, anything that I just say is false. Yes or no, Mike? Anything I just said is false.
I'm just laughing at you.
Anything I just said is false. Mike, anything I just said is false.
I'm going to use Tom Brady for this one.
Uh-huh. Okay, very good. I know which one you're going to get. You see?
I plead the fifth.
Okay, very good.
Wow.
Thank you,
Mike,
Tom.
how can you plead the fifth of the story you've told us like 10 times?
you've
No,
told us on air
that's
before.
true. That was definitely 100% true. About the Scott Baio one.
Another segment. Backtracking. Another segment. Del Tufo backtracks.
Nah.
This is a show. And some guy just driving up Robertson having no idea he's a content creator, that man.
If he's listening right now, thank you, sir.
I mean, thank you. Thank you.
Hopefully,
For all of us.
if he loves listening to the guys, then hopefully he's listening and he has no idea.
The guys.
He has
We're
no
the
idea.
guys.
We're the guy.
Sideline Mike, we'd like to use you as a pilot for the Mike Del Tufo show. In about 30 seconds, your best celebrity sighting you've ever had in your life.
Oh, no, brother. I used to be an usher at Phillips Arena. So I've seen every NBA team you want. I've been in contact with Shaq, who is my fraternity brother, Michael Jordan, who is my fraternity brother, who else? The late Steve McNair, my fraternity brother, Nolan Richardson,
Sure. These are great. These are great. Mike, you have the floor. Can you top Sideline Mike? Mike Del Tufo?
Not with those guys, but baseball players, Craig Biggio, Seton Hall. I mean, I got baseball players.
Man, I got Hank Aaron. I'm from Atlanta.
Sideline Mike, you have a show.
Mike has a show.
Mike and Mike.
Mike and Mike.
Listen to
Mike and
Mike.
I love it. Sideline and Del Tufo. Just making stuff up for
I'm
3
tuning in.
hours. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.